This was a game that really wasn't on my radar, but one day, just out of the blue, one of my subscribers randomly sent me a copy of GTFO because he just so happened to have a second copy, so we thought it best to just send it off to me. For the life of me, I can't remember his name, but thank you for the free copy. Those of you that don't know what the Honest Opinion series is, it's basically me playing alphas or betas and telling you what I thought. Bear in mind that these games aren't finished yet, so don't take this as the final product. So what is GTFO? From what I can gather, you're some sort of prisoner in some sort of facility trying to get out of there as fast as possible. According to Google, GTFO is a terrifying 4-player co-op game for hardcore FPS players, brought to you by the game designers behind the Payday franchise. Players get to play as a team of scavengers, forced to explore and extract valuable artifacts from a vast underground complex that has been overrun by horrifying monsters. 4-player co-op is correct, but terrifying, not so much. So let's start from the beginning. You get put at this loadout screen with 4 different loadout slots. 3 of the 4 are weapon slots and the other one is melee. You'll soon find out why. Each of the 4 slots have 4 tools that you can pick from. You got the C foam launcher, great for slowing down enemies or hardening up doors so that the monsters can't break through as fast. The bio tracker, I think it's self-explanatory, but it detects enemies. Mine deployer, self-explanatory. The sentry gun is essentially like it's a turret that you set down and it has like this sensor that moves back and forth. And the moment that it hits an enemy, it just starts firing at it. But if I remember correctly, it's not that fast. But I mean, it does the job if you put down more than one, usually. You got a shotgun, a revolver, a machine gun, and a sniper. The sniper has the most damage, so it's usually an insta-kill the moment that you hit something. The machine gun obviously has the most ammo. A revolver, I haven't actually tried myself, but I'd imagine it's going to be a very good weapon if you actually hit something. And then the shotgun, that one's also pretty good too. Then you got the pistol, the SMG, DMR, and assault rifle. Personally, I go with the SMG or assault rifle, but that's just me. And then the last slot is just 4 different melee weapons with their own variant type, like ones if you want to hit them from a little far away, ones if you want to get up close and personal, ones if you want to swing it faster, you know, that sort of thing. We all ready up and get put into this loading screen. According to the subscribers that I was playing with, they said that this cool looking dropping sequence is a loading screen where you can move your mouse around and the head follows. Although not seamless, it is very cool. The only thing that I can see really wrong with this sequence is players wanting to get into the action faster, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Of course, anybody that's played it can, you know, tell me down in the comments below. Hitting the ground, it becomes abundantly clear that this is not a game that holds your hand. This is one of those games that throws you into a situation and says, good luck, see you on the other side. At least that's what I think. The game is still in alpha, so there's a high possibility that they could add objectives and points of interest in the near future. I really haven't followed the development of this game to really know enough, but as it stands now, not holding your hand is a feature. You have to figure everything out on your own. Like, the most that they give you is a map of the area, but it's still unclear as what you're supposed to do. Man, if I was going in alone, I wouldn't know what the hell I'd be doing. But even then, the subscribers that I was playing with hadn't gotten to the end just yet, so they were essentially in the same boat as I was. For all of us, trial and error seem to be the name of the game. Ammo is very limited, so the melee tool can be very useful, especially in the beginning. If you're sneaking, you could probably clear out a full room without firing a shot if you're dealing with smaller enemies, so long as you don't alert them. The way that the alert system works is if the top of their heads start to turn red, they are detecting you. If it goes full red, they'll start to charge you and melee no longer becomes an option, because at that point you're getting overrun. Unless you're really good with a melee weapon, I would suggest you pull out your rifle and start blasting at that point. Generally, you want to save your ammo for bigger and more tougher enemies, or hordes of enemies that are scripted to spawn in, usually when you attack the bigger enemies. Because like I said, ammo is very limited. I really think that they should give more ammo in the beginning because what they give you is just not enough. I felt myself running out of ammo a little too fast there. The only way that you find ammo is if you're looking for these orange looking crates or orange looking lockers that you have to unlock with this locking mechanism system, which kind of reminded me of BioShock. But yeah, it's fairly simple. I don't know if it gets any harder as you're moving through or what the ramifications are. Like, I don't know if it just kicks you out or hurts you. But even when you decide to open those up, there's a high possibility that there won't even be ammo in there. Because when you open up a crate or a locker, what's in it is randomized. Usually there's 1 or 2 items, but it could be anything from a health pack to ammo or a ventilation grenade that sucks up the fog or glow sticks. You get where I'm going with this, right? This is where it begins to feel a little bit like Left 4 Dead, because only one person could carry 1 item. Usually we were able to just take everything, but we only kept the stuff that was like the most important, like health packs and ammo. It's an interesting system because you have to use health packs and ammo sparingly. Like, you have to distribute it to teammates that need it the most, and it's not like if you use it, the item disappears. Like, to give an example, you notice a teammate that's at 20% health, so you transfer about 50% of the health pack to your buddy. Now he has 70%, while the health pack still has 50%, and that's the same with ammo, although I'm unsure as to how the ammo actually distributes, if this makes any sense. There's an indicator that's above the head that tells you what they need, and like I said before, this stuff is very limited, so use these resources sparingly. The enemies aren't very creative looking, and they kind of look a little samey and humanoid, but at least they aren't predictable. You have some that are running at you, you have some that are running at you on all fours, there's some that are slow but will shoot at you with like a laser of some sort, also some that shoot a tongue at you. I think I even saw one of them do a Naruto run. I think if you cut them in half or take off its head, there's a 50-50 possibility that it'll still be alive and start running around and attacking you. Then you also got that big fella that likes to walk towards you, and anytime that you shoot at it, it doesn't seem like you're doing any damage until big chunks of it start to fall off. It might be a little slow, but it attacks you with what I believe is to be a very long organ that looks like a tongue. It's best if you shoot from a distance, in my opinion. Another aspect that kind of feels like Left 4 Dead is when you go down. Much like Left 4 Dead, you have to wait until a teammate picks you up, but as far as I've seen, you aren't able to actually contribute to anything while you're down. So that means you can't like pull a pistol out and start shooting at a bad guy as he's going after your friends. I'm not really sure what happens when the timer runs out and you go down for good while your teammates are still alive. Like, I don't know if there's a way to revive your teammate when he's just spectating. Like, I'm thinking to myself, is it just game over, or can you revive the teammate that's dead for good? Like, do you have to do something to get him back? Like, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. That never really happened to me because we either all went down or we saved each other from dying permanently. So I'm not really sure what happens there. Somebody wants to tell me down in the comments, that would be great. The gunplay is interesting because it feels like there isn't too much feedback when you're firing a machine gun or SMG, just anything with like a hollow set on top of it. It felt like the machine gun wasn't a machine gun. Like, it felt like I wasn't shooting anything, even though I could see that the bullets were going out and they were hitting the targets, but it just felt like I wasn't getting any feedback or no visual recoil, if that makes any sense. It feels kind of odd, but aside from that, the gunplay was not too bad. I think the game only has one map so far, or at least I didn't see anything different, but the enemies would always spawn in random areas, so the map never felt boring. GTFO is surprisingly a gorgeous looking game. That's a very odd thing for me to say, seeing as how it's supposed to be in an ugly looking environment, but the game just looks so goddamn good. It just honestly surprised me. Like, there was this one part when we had to open up this door, but the only way that we could do it is if we were actually typing on this computer, and the computer, you have to physically type on the keyboard every single character so that you could get the screen to actually do something. This was very trial and error, and the game doesn't tell you what to do. I think the cool thing about it is that you can actually go up to your buddy and watch what he's doing on the computer. Man, the attention to detail in this game is just off the charts in this game. For an alpha! Another thing that came as a surprise is that the optimization for this game was really good. Like, the only time that I ever actually felt anything like stuttery was during the loading screen that was kind of interactive, where you can move your head around. That was the only time that I ever felt any stuttering. I had the frame counter on, but I don't think I saw any dips. Like, it might just be because I have a more updated rig, but the subscribers that were around me, I think they have lower rigs than I do, and they said that the game was running pretty well, so for an alpha, this is just very, very good. As it stands now, GTFO is a very fun cooperative game with challenging elements that give off a Left 4 Dead vibe. I say cooperative because I'm not entirely sure how this game will fare with players that are running through solo. This is a game that has a very impressive alpha with a developer team that seems to have a lot of good intentions, because according to some subscribers, for a limited time you were able to sign up to their website and play early, and they would give you 3 free copies of the game to give out. I don't believe they're still doing that unless I'm wrong. Let me know down below. But yeah, this game most certainly has a lot of potential to be a great game, but I guess we'll have to see how development goes. So what are your thoughts on GTFO? Have you guys actually played it? Did you guys ever get to the end? I sure didn't, but you know, I would have liked to have gotten there to see what's actually there, or if you could even leave or whatever. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and share it. Help a YouTuber out by sending him $2 a month on Patreon. And yeah, that all being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out to watch, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.